Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your double press conference reaction show. In tonight's show, we are reacting to Michael Carrick's press conference, the Everton game on Monday night, and a bit later on, we are reacting to Marc Skinner's press conference as well. The Chelsea women's game in the FA Cup, and also we'll have a listen to Sonia Bombastor as well. Big up to every single one of you who's locked in already this evening. Much appreciated. Now, if you are new to this YouTube channel and you enjoy your Manchester United content, please do hit that subscribe button, people. And if you're into your EFL, non-league and international football, please do subscribe to my football channel. The link is in the title. It's also in the description as well. And in the description's my extra channel where I do quite a bit of gaming on there. And please make sure you are following me on this channel if you like your Manchester United content and F1 content. And also pinned on top of the live chat and in the description to the stream is my channel membership. Yes, people. And a level 1 and level 2 membership. So if anyone wishes to join the YouTube membership program today, you can find all the information pinned on top of the live chat. But big up to every single one of you who's live and locked in, yeah? Now, it's going to be interesting to see what Michael Carrick's been saying to the media and Marc Skinner, of course. Now, obviously with Marc Skinner's press conferences and that, they are usually a lot more fun to listen to than the men's press conference. But I gotta say, I've enjoyed listening to Michael Carrick's. I got to admit. Now, please note, people, I've not listened to any of these two press conferences yet. So what you'll be hearing from me is a complete fresh reaction. I do not share the press conference on the screen. I play it in the background as audio only. But let's see what Michael Carrick has been saying to the media first, shall we? As I guess you're all keen to hear Michael Carrick's, aren't you? But like I said, we will do Michael Carrick. We'll also do David Moyes as well, people, yeah? Because I want to hear what the opposition think as well. And like I said afterwards, we'll be reacting to Marc Skinner and Sonia Bombastor. And I hope you like the new thumbnail I created, people, for the double press conference reaction show. Let me know in the live chat what you think of the thumbnail. And here he is. Here is my number one mod on this channel, Dynamite Sorting, who's always sharing links. And a big happy birthday to you, Dynamite Sorting. I hope you've had a fantastic day, mate. I really do. There you go, sharing my channels, my football channel and my extra channel in the chat there. But like I said, my football channel's in the title and they're also in the description as well, people. So let's get on and listen to what Michael Carrick's had to say, shall we? See what's been said with Michael Carrick. Oh, big up Adam Partridge. Bash, big up to you, mate. Big up Dynamite Sorting, and a very, 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 very happy birthday to you, mate. You okay, just right? Yep, very well, thank you, Adam Partridge. Now, I'm just about to start the press conference, so you come in perfect timing, mate. That's good, I'm really glad to hear it, Dynamite Sorting. But let's go, people. Let's see what Michael Carrick's been saying.
It's just over a week ago that Sir Jim Ratcliffe made his comments on immigration. Obviously, they've had a global impact, but they've also been condemned by many, many people, including all Manchester United's major fans organisations. As the most visual face of the club, as the manager, the person that we hear from more than anyone else, could you give us your assessment of those comments and the impact they've made?
I mean, why are we still talking about this? Or this happened like well over a week ago. What are we doing here, journalists? Seriously. Yeah, you can have the wooden spoon for that. Seriously. I'm sick and tired of hearing this topic, yeah? About what Sir Jim said, yeah? Absolutely pathetic. Wouldn't swing for you, media, if I keep bringing it up, yeah? Seriously, do my head in now. Get on here, man.
Yeah, I think Sir Jim's made a statement, and then the club's made a statement on the back of it, really. So for me to add to that is it's not my place to add to that. I think
Exactly, Michael. So tell the media to shut the fuck up, yeah? Tell them to get the fuck out of here.
Enough being said in that regard. I think what I can say is, as I've been around this club many years, and I think we always make a huge impact throughout globally in whatever way, and we're really responsible for that. And you know, throughout the years, as a player, as a member of staff, as a supporter, I think we're really proud of the environment and the culture that we've got at the club, and equality and diversity and respect for each other is something that we look to carry through every day. And I've travelled the world, and I know what this club means to an awful lot of people, so fully aware of the responsibility, and we're trying to carry that out every single day.
Is there a possibility that Sir Jim's comments undermine that? You were part of a...
Just get on to about the fucking game, yeah? I'm not here to hear about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, honestly.
Multicultural squad. Sir Alex Ferguson made a...
Do you rip them a new asshole for saying that, Josh? Like, can you get them the wooden swing again, Josh? Like, absolutely, yeah, wooden swing for you, press and media. Okay, keep bringing in this topic up. Sick and tired, okay.
Point of emphasising the different backgrounds in that squad, and said it was one of the reasons why you were so successful. You're now in charge of a squad with players from all kinds of different backgrounds, both from England and overseas. Have you had to speak to them? And is Sir Jim's comments possibly undermining unity and what you are trying to achieve?
We got a really strong group, whether that's the players in and around the dressing room, and the staff, and certainly around the club and outside of the club, but certainly within the club. I think we're in constant communication anyway. We're here to support each other and help each other in whatever way we can. So the boys have been in really good spirits this week in terms of training. We've had some time away, so I think that was important for a refresh and a bit of a deep breath of everything.
Now it's going to be interesting to see what the energy levels are like, people, because obviously we had nearly 2 weeks off. Are we going to have the same mindset, or are we going to be a bit sluggish? I'm hopeful that we'll go into the game attacking, play our attacking 4-4-2 style.
For the short time we've kind of been together to digest everything, and then come back and focusing on what's next. So we're looking forward to the next game at this stage. But yeah, obviously we're here to help each other, support each other in any way we possibly can.
Michael, just picking up off that, do you think comments like that can impact the group that, as Simon mentioned, often...
Another one asking the same fucking question. Stop! Get on with the press conference! For fuck's sake, talk about the game, yeah? Seriously. Why do you have to keep mentioning this topic for? This is old news now. It happened last week, people. About over a week ago. Fuck's sake. Seriously. Just get on with it.
All around the world, from different backgrounds, from different social classes as well, when they see someone of such leadership at the club, can that have an impact? I guess not even on the football, but just in any working environment.
Yeah, I think part of being at this club, we understand what it's like, and globally, and as I said, the responsibilities we have, and within this, and I can only speak from my personal experiences of being here for a long time. And
Oh, it's doing my head in, Adam Partridge, honestly. I want to hear about the game.
With various managers, with various staff, supporters lodge, probably stayed the same. Gathered some new supporters over the years, but all backgrounds, different backgrounds, and it's something we're fully aware of, and I am, and I'm proud of what the club stands for and has done for so long, really, and I'm really aware of that.
Just on team news now, looking ahead to Monday, I think you mentioned Mason Mount could be close back to fitness for Everton and De Ligt. Do you have any kind of updates on those two?
Yeah, Mason's getting closer. I think we really we're going to be patient as well, and we have been patient with him. So we don't want to push anything. He's an important part of the group, Mason, and we want him back and fit, and he'll have a big impact for us. So he's getting closer, which is good for us. Matt's a little bit working towards it, but as I said last week, he's a little bit behind Mason, really. So we're just trying to work with him to progress him to get him a bit closer, really.
Michael, how'd you go about beating Everton?
Listen,
it's simple. Playing the 4-4-2 formation.
There's a lot goes into a game. David's teams are hard to play against, and he's such a good manager, and with the experience he's got, and knowing what it takes to have success in this league, and it's a new challenge for us. It's one we're looking forward to. I think it's one where we've had a lot of time to look forward to it. So yeah, it's going to take a lot. I think it's going away to Everton. I know it's a new stadium, but historically, it's always been tough. It's always been the atmosphere and the supporters that they create. I think it's always been one of the toughest ones that I've played away from home. So we're aware of that, and then trying to be our best way we can. I think we've got things to improve on, but we've got a good base and a good foundation moving forward. Good spirit. So we'll have to draw on pretty much all of that on Monday night.
You said you've had a couple of weeks here to just take a breath and assess the start that you'd made together. Did you feel like the West Ham performance was a little bit of a step back from what you've shown, and what are the details that you think need to change for this Everton game? You may well have a similar approach to West Ham as well.
I think we've got to be a bit balanced, in terms of I suppose not getting carried away before that game in terms of winning games, and certainly not getting carried away if we don't come away with the 3 points. I think there's an understanding of games are tough to win in this league, and it's proven, not just for us. So.
Yeah, exactly, Adam Partridge. It's like, time for what, mate? And time for what exactly, yeah? In football these days, you hardly get any time whatsoever.
I think a lot of the performance in terms of the control and how we went about the game there was a lot of good things in the game. It probably got open towards the end when we were chasing it a little bit more, but we looked dangerous. So, and scoring a late goals is a big positive. So I think it's an important point for us. Yeah, of course we wanted to win the game, but certainly not thinking that it was all bad or it's a big negative. I think we're pretty balanced going into the game to what we are coming out of it, really, and looking for the games ahead.
Thank you, Jamie.
Hi Michael. So it will have been 13 days by the time you play Everton. How has it been having an extended break like that? Has it been helpful, or do you feel it's broken the rhythm? And how are the plans going for?
Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what their fitness levels are like, whether we'll be at it straight away or we might be a bit sluggish. I've seen the Arsenal fan cams out in the Wolves game. I did. Josh Eagle was talking shit yet again. Josh absolutely, he always does. Adam Partridge.
Mid-season friendly when the next gap comes up, and how involved in the plans for that are you?
Yeah, we're trying to make it useful. The break that we've had at the moment. I think we're trying to make in different ways. I think it was important that I think when there's change and the kind of the month or so that we had together, I think it was important for everyone to have a couple of days to digest that and take it in. And so the boys have trained a bit, had a few days off, trained a bit again, and looking to get the balance right.
And me as well, Adam Partridge, though. He well and truly pisses me off, mate.
the rhythm, keeping the sharpness, keeping that the focus, which the boys have been, I have to say, really good in training again. And then moving forward, it's the fixtures have thrown up some mixture of gaps between games, really. So just adjusting and adapting, and we'll see what kind of comes of that. Especially obviously the international, and then a bit of a break after that. So we'll manage it as we go, but we'll obviously try and make the best of it.
How do you feel on the prospect of a friendly? Is it something you would welcome if that's what the club thinks is the right thing to do?
It just depends on a lot of things, really. I don't think there's a black or white answer with that one. I think it's really kind of we'll make a call, and there's a bit of an area in between where it depends on where the game is, what it's like, what time it is when the fixtures fall. So it's not straightforward, but it's something if we need to look at, we can do if we think it's the best for the players.
Here you go. I've been reading the comments here about what people have been saying. They saying that the media should be banned. Keep talking about Sir Jim and that. I agree, 100%. That was an absolute disgrace. Kept going on about that topic. It's like, get out of here, man. Seriously, I'm sick and tired of hearing about this subject. I want to hear about the game of football. Near the end of the conference, we did start to hear about the game of football, but not one question about Angerton. Disgrace. Shame on you, honestly. Shame on you, journalists, not asking a question about Angerton. That is total disrespect to the opposition. Let's get it right, yeah? Total disrespect. Should be shamed. Hang your head in shame, yeah? Again, you can have the fucking wooden spoon, yeah? Media, honestly, I'm absolutely furious at you, yeah, for asking such dumb questions. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Nor do I, Adam Partridge. Absolutely just cannot stand the fella. Man United got more time off. Again, seen Josh Ray. Yep. There we go. So let's hear what Deacon Wise has been saying now. People, that has really made me mad, honestly. Just why? Why do they have to go through the same subjects about tens of thousands of times, man? Seriously. Tens of thousands. It's a piss take gown here, seriously. Oh, what a joke. Of course I can. Yeah, wouldn't soon, honestly. For them journalists, Ronans. Utter Ronans. He is, yep. I agree, 100%. Right, that's... I bet you they ask a question about Manchester United, don't they? To Damien Moyes. Let's see. Yeah, 12 minutes, 45. Here we go. Oh, you're welcome, Adam Partridge. You're very welcome, mate. People, that's really made me annoyed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our pre-match press conference to preview our game against Manchester United. We'll start off with Vinny from Sky.
David, by the time you play Manchester United, it'll be nearly 2 weeks since you faced Bournemouth. I know you would rather have been playing in that time, but at the same time, how useful has that break been for you?
Well, it's quite strange this year because we're getting breaks when we probably don't want them or don't need them, but only got ourselves to blame. Get knocked out of the FA Cup on penalties, so nobody to blame but ourselves.
Obviously, no Jacob O'Brien this weekend as well. What do you weigh up when deciding who's going to replace him? Because obviously James Garner can move there from midfield, and you do have options there, but there's also Nathan Patterson, and I don't know, is Seamus Coleman fit and available?
Yeah, Seamus is fit and available as well. So we've got people we can choose. So we'll move on from it. You get sent off, and these things happen.
You're on 37 points now, just 3 points off what used to be the magical mark of 40. What indication of progress is that for you?
Well, I think it's a big progress on certainly on recent seasons, and we've probably got to a points total a little bit quicker than maybe we have done in the past. But we want to keep it going. We don't want to let it slip now. We want to keep going, and we want to try and challenge for the positions higher up the league if we can. So we want that to continue.
How different are Manchester United are you facing now under the charge of Michael Carrick?
There you go. A question about Manchester United already. And we're 1 minute and 25 into this press conference. And during our press conference, they didn't ask a single question about Everton. Like I said, it's total disrespect to the opposition people, seriously.
Compared to what you faced at Old Trafford.
Well, I don't think there's any player changes, that's for sure. I think it's roughly the same players, just about as what Ruben.
Yeah, roughly the same players, but playing much better brands of football now.
Had when he was in charge. I think Michael's come in and done it.
Henry talks shit, Mo and Nigel. Get on the bin, Josh. Absolutely. Get in the bin.
Brilliant job. I really do. I think he's sort of freshened the players up with the looks of it, and certainly freshened up the support as well in the way they're getting some victories.
And just to reflect on that famous win earlier this season, how stressful was it? Because you obviously had Seamus Coleman going off early to deal with. It was the altercation between Micheal and Idrissa, but at the same time you then went on and took all 3 points.
Yeah. It seems a long time ago, but it was a hugely important 3 points because you have to try and pick up wins when you can, and it didn't look likely on the night when we went down to 10 men, and we got a really good goal. Kieran, I think it was, who got the good goal that night, and we done well enough to hang on to it. So it was really important 3 points, and these 3 points coming up are important again.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny. We'll go to Simon at Premier League Productions.
How you doing, Simon?
Good, thank you. You managed Micheal for a while as well. Did you ever see this in him? I mean, he's the consummate pro, isn't he? Did you ever?
Yeah, he was a really good professional, and I think I was.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to him. He goes and watches the men's and Arsenal women's games. He is Arsenal through and through, but he is delusional on his fan cams 100%.
More impressed with the work he's done when he's at Middlesbrough. I think he's done a great job when he was at Middlesbrough, and his team's played good stuff, and I thought he'd done very well there. So he's gone into the job, and looks as if he's doing it in a calm manner and going about the job very well.
Have you ever been in touch with you?
No, I spoke to Micheal in the summer about a couple of things, but it was just really about a player and different things. So, but nothing else.
10 years seems like a lifetime ago now. That's how probably just got over that, isn't it, since you were at Manchester United? How would you say you've changed between then and now?
It's way life takes it, isn't it? Everything in life's always going to be very good. I had a great time there, even though it lasted a very short period.
I mean, when he was Manchester United manager, I didn't dislike him at all, but he was always going to be a failure because the first ever manager to take over from Sir Alex Ferguson was always going to be a tall order. But look, I fully respect it that he gave it an attempt, but it just was not meant to be for him, was it?
But I also had things that I wish I could have done better, and and if I got another go at it, then I think I would have done things slightly different. But that's what happens, when you always look back at things, you always think how you might have changed it. But overall, I really enjoyed my experience of managing there.
A bit more how you've changed as a person from now to
yeah, in some ways, I think I'm probably in as good a place as I've been, but I'm also in a place which I know I want to work and I want to be there, and the people want me here as well. So that makes me feel much more welcome and enjoy my work here. I think I'm more experienced. I've had other moments in football, I've had a chance to win a trophy in Europe. I've got to some semi-finals and quarter-finals. I've seen other things in my time in Spain, etc. So I think I'm probably sitting here much more experienced than, say, I was 10 or 12 years ago, however long ago it was.
We know you've still got an edge, which we'll try never to step over the line for, because we don't want to be on the wrong side of it. But would you say you're a much more, I suppose, relaxed person and more comfortable?
Yeah, I believe I am, but others might say not. Probably my wife might not say not, but But overall, yeah, I think with age you do, like I think most people in life will tell you, sort of mellow a little bit. But the big thing here is keep your energy up, keep the focus.
I have to say, Deacon Moyes has done a really good job since going back to Everton. Everton don't have the biggest budget, but fair play to him, doing really well.
Keep doing the right things. I'm seeing people like...
Big up AFC always. Bash. Big up to you, mate. Good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Much appreciated. People, make sure you are subscribing to AFC always. But welcome in, mate. Hang on, we will get back to that press conference, people. Just, I'm not sure if my mod is still in the live chat, so... It's that press conference, people. Okay, shut up. I'm just going to share his channel. Where is he? Gosh, I got so many different bloody links. Where is he? Where's AFC always? Where is he? He's somewhere here. There he is. Bash. There you go, people. Make sure if you're watching on playback, make sure you sub into AFC always, people. Not until Monday now, Daniel Night Sword Team. When I'm back home again is when I'll be streaming on Monday night. Right, okay, let's have a look. Let's go.
Keep doing the right things. I'm seeing people like Marc and Neil get back into the job.
On poor Peas and drawing against Wolves, and we did, and losing to United, mate. I mean, nowhere near sustainable AFC. Always, honestly, you want to win the Premier League title, you cannot afford to be drawing matches like this. It's as simple as that. And the sooner you get rid of your fraud manager, the better. This fucking manager, Micheal Arteta. What is your score prediction for the North London derby? I'm going for a 1-0 victory to Arsenal.
Celtic, and I think Martin's 72 or 73, so I feel young again, that's for sure. And there is a little bit of resurgence of sort of more experienced managers just beginning to pop their head up again. And I don't feel that old at the moment. I feel young, and the players I work with make me young as well.
And talking of energy, just finally for me, the fans are looking to bring it on Monday night. They're planning on lots of banners and flags and atmosphere to get it up to scratch. What difference could that make for you and the players?
It will be hugely helpful, and it will be hugely appreciated if they do, because anything we can get at the moment to help us, because at home at the moment it's felt difficult for whatever reason that may be. I think there's a lot of
Get Hanger in as interim manager from the trophies and Sahar season. Yep. That would not be a bad shout at all, AFC always. Been there, done it, got the experience, so yeah.
I think there's a lot of generalisations I can say, which I've probably said in many interviews, new home, it's never that easy, new surroundings, other teams enjoying it, all those things. But the people who make football clubs are the supporters, and inside the stadium they're the ones who make the big difference, and if they can help make a difference on Monday night, that'll be very much appreciated.
Thank you. Thanks, Simon. We'll go to Ian already on his side.
Hi, David.
Hi, Ian.
You spoke there about the importance of the 3 points at Old Trafford earlier on this season, but aside from the 3 points, how significant was it in terms of the belief that it can give a team and the players that they belong on a stage like that and at that end of the table?
Well, I think the big thing I wanted us to do here at Everton was to make sure that we were competitive with the so-called bigger teams, or the teams who are near the top of the league. And I think we've tried to do that. We've not won all the games we've done it, but I think we have been competitive. On the night we were. On the night we showed resilience. But it was a huge win for us at the time.
Oh, no worries, Adam Partridge. No worries whatsoever.
Because we were sort of trying to keep up with everybody. And we have been all season. We've been trying to sort of retain a position, a strong position. And in the main, we've done so. We've had 1 or 2 blips. But obviously the 3 points on that night at Old Trafford was a huge boost for us.
And obviously you want to stay in that mix for European places possibly, but how difficult is it? We saw Wolves against Arsenal in midweek. I mean, has the Premier League ever been this competitive?
I've been laughing at quite a few of the people who've been talking about it, and I've been listening to it, and I'm thinking, unless you're actually sitting in the seat as the manager of one of the clubs, you're not understanding how difficult the games are, the level of the games.
You're very welcome, Adam Partridge, and thank you.
The teams, we played Wales here a few weeks ago and we got a draw. We played Leeds here, we could only draw. We played those teams where maybe you think, even Bournemouth, where we lost to. People are thinking that you'll turn up and you'll roll these teams over. The games are so difficult at the moment. And by the way, there is 1 or 2 teams who might blow all the teams away in the league. There might be. But in the main, most of the teams have been very competitive, very little between them. Before we played Bournemouth, I think Bournemouth were really unlucky not to beat Aston Villa at home. And Aston Villa got a draw out, I think, and ended up coming up here. We thought we were a bit unlucky not to beat Bournemouth on the night, but they ended up turning us over. So the games are very close and pretty unpredictable at the moment.
And that's why it's difficult for, aside from the top 3 or 4 teams, to be able to put 3 or 4 wins together. It's just so difficult.
It is, and I'm sort of looking and saying, no, going to Wales, why would it be easy for Arsenal to just turn up and think that they're going to do that? And now everybody thinks Man City's going to win all the games between now and the end of the season. They may well do, but I think you've got to forget what I've said is there's a lot of teams in the Premier League who are showing good form and very hard to beat.
Thanks, Ian. We'll go to Carl at the Press Association.
Just following on from that, David. Hi, David.
Yeah.
You spoke about how difficult the Premier League is, but I'm just wondering, this sort of spell you're now entering, the next 9 games that you play 5 of the top current 6.
Mm-hmm.
How crucial a spell is that going to be for you, and how difficult will it be?
Yeah, well, it depends how crucial you're looking at it and you're thinking about it. Is it? I think this time last year, the 9 games I had to play, I'd have been saying, my goodness, how am I going to get any wins to stay in the Premier League? I think we've probably got over that completely. I think the challenge now is, can we change mentality? Can we change the whole direction we're going in? Well, we're not going to be that team anymore. We're not planning to be a team who's fighting relegation. We're a team who's planning to try and challenge the teams in Europe. And to do that, I said that a few weeks ago, we're going to have to win some big games in the run-in. I don't know if we're quite in the word run-in yet. I don't know when the run-in might begin, but I would think it was probably maybe when you got...
Oh, yeah. I am, mate. Yep, Monday afternoon I'll be back at my flat. And I'll be doing the live watch on Monday evening.
Under 10 games, maybe down to 9 or 8 games, something like that. We might call that the run-in, possibly. But I know what you mean at the moment. We're in a batch of big games. Look, we'll get everybody fit, bar Jack Grealish. So we're probably as good a physical shape as far as that goes. We've got a bit of disruption with game times, when we're playing. We might have 10 or 12 days off, or we might have different bits in this part of the season. Then suddenly we might have 3 games in 8 days. So we've not got a particularly consistent calendar regarding the games, but we've certainly got hard games to come.
Thanks, Carl. We'll go to Will.
Hi, David. Just ask how the last 2 weeks, the sort of time off has been. The squads have been a bit of time off and just time to work stuff on the training grounds as well.
Yeah, all of that. It's actually not easy for a manager when you get the long periods off, because you it's not what we're planning.
Yes, Adam Partridge. I had some chicken with bacon on top, a few tomatoes, peas, and some potatoes as well, and a bit of tomato ketchup because I love dipping potatoes in tomato ketchup.
Sometimes in the scheduling changes. Even this game, we're on to Monday instead of maybe a Saturday or a Sunday possibly. But all that changes as well. So yeah, we've had all what you've said.
How he says after Bournemouth that maybe Illuminati come back a little bit slow from AFCON. Do you think he's one who will benefit from this break and just a kind of gaze?
I hope so. I think that hopefully they've now got themselves back into the speed of it. I thought both of them had started to pick up a little bit in the last game. Both started to show they were getting back more to what I felt the speed of the Premier League and the intensity what's required here.
Just ask about Tyler Dibblin. He was 20 earlier this week, I think. Tyler Dibblin.
Yeah.
I mean,
20.
Didn't
even know it
he's
myself.
20, and I know he came in for a fee, but it's easy to forget how young he is at 20. You couldn't say where Dye was or Jack Grealish was. Before, was it? 20.
Yeah.
To, 200 miles away. Is it just things have to take into account?
I think it's one who we're saying is we think we've got a really good talented player on our hands. We need him to develop and get used to us a little bit. He'll probably need a bit of time, and even me looking towards the start of next season. I'm saying, pre-season friendlies, etc. All those things will help get him more established than when we got him in. But look, he's beginning to learn a lot more about us. He'll get game time, I'm sure, between now and the end of the season. So it's good. I didn't realise it was his birthday. I feel terrible now because I didn't realise it. Yeah. He's a quiet boy, as you can see.
Any further questions in the open section before we move on? No? Okay, thank you.
So that is the end of the Moyes' press conference, people. Yeah, at least they asked a question about Manchester United, asking them, does he think they've changed this and that? Where, whilst on our press conference, not one single question about Everton. It's mainly all about Sir Jim and that. It's like, no. You've got to be talking about the opposition as well, seriously. But anyway, we're now moving on to Marc Skinner's press conference reaction, people. And he has done his press conference at a Chelsea women game at the weekend, now in the Women's FA Cup. And obviously, next month, these two sides meet again in the Women's League Cup final at Ashton Gates, which I am going to that game, people. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's listen to what Marc Skinner has to say. Then we will listen to Sonia Bombastor. See, this was pre-recorded yesterday after he did his post-match interview to the Atletico Madrid's women's game.
Yes, so Frido, it was a knock against Leicester. It was a knockiest one, so we're still assessing for Sunday. If not, it'll be after hopefully the final. But there's still a couple of days assessment, so it's just like a dead leg knock that we have to just manage. And same with Terry, really. It was against Atletico. She got whacked on the halfway line in the first game. So just managing that. And then that's it, really. Hopefully, those two could potentially be back, but we have to wait and see over the next couple of days.
And Julie Ziggy actually on half time.
Yeah.
She's been a bit unwell.
Yes, exactly that. She'd been a bit unwell. You could see it. Ziggy's not one that hides how she feels, so she wears it. So she was a little bit. She had as the group have had a little bit cold over the last few days, so it was just precaution. And she's in what a fantastic vein of form she's in right now with goals and goal assists. So it's just precaution that one.
And on the FA Cup, more generally, I think you actually thought about the FA's proposal to start seeding teams. The FA actually put out a statement this evening saying that that's in August, and they're not going to make any changes this summer. I just wanted to get your reaction to that idea about the same.
Great news.
Next season.
Great news. I don't look. We play one of the best teams in English history on Sunday in an early round, but that's a draw. that's the draw. That's the beauty of the game. I'm not like
Exactly. That is the beauty of the game. It's not ideal drawing Chelsea women, but in the end of the day, it is what it is. But you have to draw each other at some stage in this competition, don't you? So why not do it now?
go and give it everything. And for me,
I have no doubt about that, Mark Skinner, that we will give it absolutely everything. Because I watched Manchester United women, their mentality is absolutely amazing. They never give up.
I watch competition because there's an element of luck in it. And
like the FA Cup, the men's FA Cup, I absolutely love the men's FA Cup, and I'm absolutely devastated that Manchester United men got knocked out in the third round against Brighton Hove Albion. But again, it's when we had that absolute fraud as manager.
For us to play Chelsea, it's rough luck, but actually, I think it's part of the game and it allows the beauty of the cup. Thank you.
Emma? Obviously, you've got Chelsea in the League Cup final as
Yes.
well. So, how might that potentially affect things? Will you maybe try and not show your hand fully? Like, what's the...
I'll try and win it. Hopefully, I'll have some more players back for the final, so we can adapt a little bit. But no.
Of course, we're going to try and win the cup because Manchester United women are in the final, so of course we're going to get absolutely everything when we play Chelsea women at Ashton Gate next one on the 15th of March.
Look, I think we've already started planning. We planned as soon as this game plan was done. We started planning for Chelsea. So, it's a tough. They're a tough team. I know people talk about them hurting and stuff like that, but it's because they've got exceedingly high standards themselves. So, it'll be a tough game. But if there's anything, again, we're just a team that stays in the fight. We stay in the fight, and the quality we have and the way we can unlock teams, I think it'll be a good game. And we're aiming to go through. It's we lost them in the final last year, so we want to try and resurrect that and get through to the next round. Thank you.
I think you've still only beaten Chelsea once as a club over here, actually, in the cup.
Yes.
How much is that something that, as a team, you kind of like? Do you put that to one side? Do you think about it, or is it one of those things that's like, if we beat Chelsea, that's quite a big milestone for us? Like,
yeah, honestly, we don't. We're at that level now. The reality is that over many years, Chelsea have spent a lot of money to be able to do that. So we're catching up, and that's been the reality, right? They've had more depth and more ability to change games.
Like Chelsea women, the last decade or so, their squad depth has been absolutely unbelievable. Ours is getting better, but it's not quite on the elite level just yet. It's not too far away, but we're definitely still lacking in a couple of areas.
Whereas we just hadn't had that as we grew. So I think now we respect Chelsea, of course we do. But that don't do any good in games if you go and respect them too much. So we have to go to try and win the game and try and find our way of winning it. And try and make it tough for Chelsea. That's going to be our aim going into the game.
what have you made of? It looks like they're in a bit of a negative moment relative to their success at the moment. What have you made of kind of the noise around Chelsea and maybe not being at the best, but obviously you know what they can do on their day to day?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's always tough when you have such high standards, as I'm sure Sonia and the team do. But our job isn't to worry about that for them. Like, they're their own team. I get enough pressure.
Exactly. Marc Skinner just wants to focus on us people, instead of Chelsea women, because Marc Skinner manages us at the end of the day.
Get the pressure if they don't do well. So what we have to do is we have to go and make sure that there's a little bit more pressure, but in the way that with respect. Like, we go there to try and win the game in our way and find a way to win it, and not worry too much about Chelsea. They're big enough. They'll do their own thing. So I don't worry about them. I'm sure they have less sleepless nights about me as I do about them. So more importantly, we have to go to try and win the game.
Yeah. I did not like when they did not talk about the Everton game just right. Disgrace, Adam Partridge.
I'm just following up on Jess, like when we talk about the development and what she can do.
Yeah.
Is the next step for her sort of becoming an England star? Because I know, obviously, she's been on the periphery for a while, but at the same time, she hasn't quite made that breakthrough into the starting 11. And I know, obviously, Chap's been a really good rate a lot. She's been at Carrick recently. Like, have you been sort of campaigning on Jess Park as well?
Honestly, I think Jess is doing the best campaigning she can ever do. We'll speak, of course, and me and Serena will speak after the camp and see how it is. The one thing we just need to be careful, Anton, I'm sure you know this, but the international scene is a different scene to like tonight. There's loads of space, and so the game's different. When Jess finds space, you can create space. You know when there's nothing. So I think it's the way Serena will play with the players around us. We can't be lazy in that context. But I think, look, if anyone can bring the best out.
Yeah, you bet, Adam Partridge. Absolutely.
Like we have with Jess is Serena in England, so I hope she does, because I want to be excited whenever my Manchester United players put on an England shirt or any international shirt, to be honest. But yeah, we'll keep working towards Jess being in that space for England as well, because I'm sure you'd be excited with that as well.
Absolutely. And I'm just wondering on the injury front, with so many players about to go away for their countries, is that a worry? And if anybody you're thinking about, can we withdraw them? Can we keep them at Carrick? That must be a concern if they go to the other side of the planet and potentially you don't know they're going to be when they come back.
Yeah, I mean, the tough thing is that there's just so many different ways of doing team-based activities, training, medical. So it's always a tough one. Look, we'll never pull a player out. Like, we've not done that, and we won't do that. I think we'll have a few at home because they are recovering. But anyone that's out on international duty, I'd like to say don't worry, but it's just natural. Like, it's like your children going overseas. Like, they go over and you're always worried about them. But look, I'm sure they'll be fine. But Anton, all I can do is pick that up when it comes back, because otherwise I'm going to waste 2 weeks of just worrying. So I've got enough to worry about without that. Let's hopefully that we get a bit of good luck going through the international camp. Thank you.
Can I just ask on what Anton said about Jess and England?
Yeah.
Obviously, the position and the way that she plays has changed. Moving here, like when you spoke to Serena about that, like what have those conversations been like, or what she's noticed?
I do as well, Adam Partridge. I miss her creative side to the game, because in certain matches, she's definitely been missed at Everton 100%.
Yes. I'm not really playing in that 10 and being restricted quite central, but drifting a lot. And yeah, just the conversation you've had.
Yeah, honestly, I think sometimes the club can be the audition for the international period. I think you could show a lot to Serena about how she can use Jess, because it's a different exposure, right? So when she was at City, she had a very defined, clear-cut role, and she had to do certain things, which it worked for them, of course, at the time. But what we've done is we've tried to negate the pressures that she'll have by putting in spaces where teams don't get used to. You stick her in one space, and it can stifle the situation. If you keep moving her and keep allowing her to have that freedom, she'll create anything for anyone. She'll score goals as well. Like, she's had so many goal involvements this year already. So I think the audition is great. Hopefully.
You're going 3-1 for Monday. Yes, I am, Adam Partridge, and you're going 2-1. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of us who are going to get it right.
Serena can see that as well. She's a super intelligent human, so I'm sure she will do. And hopefully we can get the best of it for England as well.
There you go. That is the end of Marc Skinner's press conference, people. Yeah, he answered to media very well. Right, let's have a listen to Sonia Bombastor. She did hers 1 day ago. Interesting, but anyway, we're going to react to it anyway.
So let's start with the FA Cup. You are facing United this weekend. Such a significant match.
Yeah.
How are you preparing for that? Because they are coming like a very good spell.
Yeah, no, we are really excited to play first of all in that competition because we are the holders. We are playing a home game. We know we are facing a really good team. They are in a really good form. A lot of wins in the.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Manchester United women are in really good form at the moment. So I agree with Sonia Bombastor there.
Games for them recently, so we are prepared for that. And as usual, I think the training week has been good so far. I think we could see again this week a lot of intensity in training session, lot of hard work, and we are confident going into the game on the weekend.
And look ahead a bit. You found this week that Chelsea will face Arsenal in the Champions League quarterfinals. First, how exciting is that?
Yeah, really exciting. Again, like going back to play the Champions League, first of all, it's always exciting. We know this is the biggest competition for our club, so we are really excited to play in that competition. And knowing we'll face Arsenal again, I think we'll be really motivated to play that game as well.
And does that impact any of your preparation for the games that come before?
I think for.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it, Adam Partridge? Superb.
First, we are trying to focus on game by game. I think that's really important. I think we had some, in the recent weeks, some tough games. The results we got were not the ones we were expected, but it happens in football and even for a team like Chelsea. I think right now we are in a better place. I think, we are looking at the future with confidence. And I think, what is difficult right now, it's like we have the international break coming. And from my previous experiences, I know like everything can happen. So the most important for us is to try to keep everyone available and fit to be ready to perform in the next games after the international break.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Yes, hi Sonia.
Hi Chloe.
In terms of team news, can you give us the latest on Millie Bryant?
Yeah, so Millie, as you know, got knocked, hard knock in her ankle in the Tottenham game. She didn't recover enough to be involved in this game, so we are assisting her every week and making sure she gets back as quick as possible. But for sure it will be after the international break. Difficult for me now to put a time frame on her, but we'll see. We'll still have the international break to keep continuing assessing her. Except
that's not sustainable, Adam Partridge. You know, tell them to jog on, mate. You know, you're well and truly entitled to talk about football.
Really, I think we have everyone available as the same squad as the Liverpool game. We'll have probably Kadesha Buchanan back in the squad as well for the weekend, which is a great news.
Yeah, I was just going to say actually she played some minutes for the academy this week.
Yep.
How sort of close would you say is she to appearing on the pitch?
Yeah, I think she's been training fully with us since many weeks now. I think it was the first opportunity for her yesterday to get some minutes with the under-18. I think it was great mentally for her to be involved in that game. I think she's right now in a good place, confident. I think she's exciting to probably be in the squad for the weekend game. And she's been injured for quite a long time. So again, I think it's one of those where the player is really excited, confident to be back with the squad, but she will have certainly a certain amount of time before she gets back to her best level. So depending on how many minutes she can get with us, we'll have already a plan during international break for her to keep getting training sessions with the boys at the academy and also some individual training sessions. And the plan is for her to keep evolving to make sure she's in the best place possible for the coming games.
And we've got now back-to-back cup matches against the same opponent, and obviously the second of those is a final.
Absolutely, Adam Partridge. You know, people like that just need to get in the bin, mate. You know, just take no notice of them.
Does that change anything about the preparation preparation in terms of, do you have the second game in mind when you preparing for the first one against Man United?
No, I think I just said for us now, it's more important to focus game by game. I think especially even more, we have this game and after a long international break, so I think everything again can happen in that period. So for us, it's very much like focusing on the game on Sunday and we'll see where we are at. I think the game after the international break, as you just mentioned, is a final.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Hazard Partridge.
And I think, the approach is maybe a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, last season we faced Man City back-to-back 4 times. Is there anything to be learned from that in terms of facing the same opponent twice in different competitions?
Yeah, I think from my experience, I would say maybe sometimes when you face the same opponent multiple times in the short term, you start to overthink, and sometimes you think too much about the opposition. Focusing also on your team. So that's the main learning from me, making sure going into these games I focus on my team and make sure I put my players in the best place for them to perform at their best level.
And last one from me, obviously we saw in last year's FA Cup final there was a sea of blue Chelsea fans in the end at Wembley. What role can the fans play at Kingsmeadow this weekend in helping the team make sure we progress through to the next round?
Yeah, they can play a massive role.
Obviously, on Sunday, I'll be watching this game, on the TV. Looking forward to it.
I know how much the staff and the players, we love to hear them when we are playing. I think they can be a real difference, especially with us playing the home game. So it's good. We are hoping to see a lot of them being loud and helping us. I think they just bring the energy for the players and the extra motivation. Sometimes, we probably will have some tough moments in the game because Man United is a great team, and I think when you have that moments, you need to hear them to make sure they bring the confidence also for the players. So we are really excited to have them at home on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll jump across to Zoom now, please. Who let's go first, Jessie or Helen? Jessie, can we come to you?
Hi, Jessie. Hi, Jessie.
There have been some reports that the FA are looking at changing the format of this competition for next year and potentially seeding 4 teams within it, which would probably mean that a game like this wouldn't happen if that happened this year. I just wondered, obviously, this is your...
Well, for now, I'm glad it's not being seeded because you got to play these things at some point, haven't you? So, like I just said earlier, people, you may as well get it over and done with now.
Season managing the FA Cup, kind of what you made of the competition as it is and what you think about those proposed changes?
Yeah, I think if people are thinking about these changes, there is maybe a reason why. I'm not involved in all the conversations and I don't know all the outcome. But for me, what is really nice in this competition is like you can face every team in every stage of the competition, and I think that's brings this competition really special. So I would say my favorite thing or the main thing in this competition is being able to face everyone from the first round to the last stage of the competition. So maybe I will be more fan of having a competition who don't protect anyone.
Brilliant, thank you.
You're welcome.
Short and sweet, thanks, Jessie. And we'll finish with Helen.
Yes,
Hi, Ellen.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Ellen.
So I'm gonna... Lydia needs to cover her ears because I'm going to use the R word rugby. So, she's literally covered her ears.
One question, Helen, and then I'm going to say, let's bring it back to football, please.
It's kind of football, but basically we're talking about head coaches. And the main thing for all of them in rugby is that they can't put it together for the whole 80 minutes. So I think there's a lot of the same things going on in football where it's very hard for a team to play with their foot down on the gas, if you like, for a whole 90 minutes. So I'm wondering if you could say a little bit about that, because it feels to me like there are times when there are little chinks where people can get behind other teams, which would probably be unreasonable.
I would say, yeah, we always try to aim to be always full-footed, and when we come into a game, to be playing with intensity from the first minute until the end of the game. And yeah, that's our desire and the mentality coming into every game. But sometimes, as much as you want to do that, yeah, there are some things in the game who don't allow you to do that. So sometimes can be the opponent. Sometimes I think it's your players not being always at their best. And yeah, mentally, physically, sometimes it happens. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but yeah, I think the players are humans, and I think sometimes, as much as they want to be at their best level, it happens for sometimes not to be 100%. I don't know if I'm really answering the question or.
I think you are.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's performance related question.
I think that's interesting because coming up against someone like Man United, a lot of their tactics are to do with breaking up the game, so there isn't like a flow to it. They're on a bit.
Yeah.
People will keep it down for a very long time. You know, like, I think the game should have moved on by now.
Yeah.
Want to agree. High standards, Josh. I absolutely add Partridge. Elite high standards.
You know, chance goes all we talked about before about rule changes.
Yeah.
And when you watch the Winter Olympics and the way they do it in ice hockey, like, they just carry on. They don't stop. They just carry on.
Yeah.
I just wonder whether these kind of things do kind of prompt you into thinking they should now really have thought about changing the rules.
Yeah, I think I already said, I think from the first year I joined the WSL about teams sometimes trying to break down the rhythm in the game, especially with the goalkeeper goes down. I think we have an easy fix with that. I think even if it doesn't bring the solution on breaking down the game, I think if the goalkeeper goes into the ground, you have to tell every player to stay on pitch and not to allow them to come and talk to the coach, because most of the time when teams does that, it's because they want to make some tactical changes. And I already mentioned before, I don't think that's part of the rules in football right now, so we shouldn't be allowed to do that. But we should try to maybe implement a new rule. And an easy one is if one of the players are coming and talking to the staff and to the coach, I think she just gets a yellow card. I think it could be simple because, as you just mentioned, it's not really nice to get these breakdowns, especially when you are a team who tries always to play with intensity and try always to play as much as possible during the 90 minutes. Because I think we also need to understand the fans are coming to watch us on the pitch and they want to have a lot of rhythm, a lot of playing time, and it's part of the entertainment we need to give them as well.
Brilliant. The last one for me, Lydia may or may not want to cover it, but it's about boxing. So, basically, so you're playing Man United again and again, but playing Arsenal again and again. And everyone feels like a different round. So you know, in boxing, each round is completely different, it's marked differently. And I'm wondering if you're able to address it like that, so you completely set up different each time, or is there, you feel like there's a kind of rhythm in all those games?
I think it's a balance between both, because I think every game is different.
I mean, to me, they're both big games, obviously I would love to progress as far as possible in this competition, and I would really like us to win the Women's League Cup final.
But also you need to come into every game with consistency, especially with your team, the way you want to set up, the way you want to play, your playing style.
Yeah, I like it as well, Adam Partridge.
And things like that. So I think for me, if I focus on my team, I would say we have to come into this game with consistency, the way we want to play, our basics in game model and things like that, but also every game brings something different. So you have also to be prepared to face every challenge in every game.
And it feels like a lot of these cup games are won from a bench. If you've got a strong bench. And I would say you probably haven't got a very strong bench. Is that true?
I'm happy with my squad. I think I have quality in the squad enough to bring players in and change the game. I think that's important to have that depth and the quality in the bench to be able to do that. I think, as I already mentioned, as a coach, I think sometimes when you want to change some tactics in the game, being able to bring different profiles with different strengths into the game, I think it helps a lot because the game is,
Absolutely, Adam Partridge. Big up to every single one of them legends. Roster Stocks, Vigilante, King, Liverpool Profit, AN Source Yeti, and Michael.Chelsea FC. Yep.
going, and when you need different things, it's nice to just have a look back and being able to bring different profiles into the game, depending if you need more speed, if you need more players being smart on the ball, if you need more technicality. So having different profiles available, I think it helps a lot for sure.
And also because it could go into extra time and penalties.
Yeah. That's right. So we are prepared for that. We prepared the game in that way too. I think physically we have been playing only one game a week, so we should be fresh for the game on Sunday. We have been rotating the squad as well, giving opportunities to some players to get minutes, but also to balance the players who have been getting a lot of minutes. I think we are in a good place physically, and I'm hoping for us to make the difference as well physically on the game on Sunday.
Can I just ask one final question about Man United? They've got quite a different look at the front at the moment because they've signed some new players in the window. And have you been able to sort of assess where the new dangers come from?
Yeah, I think I have a good understanding on what their squad look like, the strengths they have.
Now, Manchester United's women's new signings, I have to say, so far, I've been really impressed with them. And hopefully, it will continue to stay that way for the new signings.
I think, as you just mentioned, since January and last summer, they signed some really good players, especially up front. And I think, they have now more depth in the squad in that aspect, but also different qualities. I think they are more unpredictable, bringing these new signings, and makes things a little bit more predictable for us. But in the same time, I think it's important for us to focus on our qualities and the talent we have in the squad. We have been watching them for many games now. We know what are their qualities, but also what maybe we can exploit from them. They are a strong team, and we will have to be at our best, but we are also confident we have some strengths who can help them as well.
So that was Sonia Bombastor's press conference, people. Yeah, that was very interesting to listen to. That really was. So, yep. Now, Manchester United's women, hopefully, we can get the job done against Chelsea women, but at the end of the day, it will be very, 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 very difficult, people. But if we dig in deep into the game, we could possibly get a win, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, people. And Adam Partridge, you wanted me to give the media the wood and soon again for what they're saying about, keep going on about the same question about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Yeah, wood and soon for you, media, honestly. Enough with that fucking questions, yeah? Seriously. Big up Ryan G. Bash. Big up to you, mate. You've just popped in the perfect time because I'm about to wrap up in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to be redirecting you guys over to Don C. Make sure you're subbing to Don C, because he's a real one, He's an Arsenal fan, a true Arsenal fan who says it how it is, He's completely unfiltered. Big up to Don C. So let me know your score predictions, what you think the game's going to be if you're watching afterwards. Like Josh Drake, yep, no problem, Anton Partridge. Big up, thank you, Josh Drake, for doing that again, mate. That's no problem. You want me to get out the wooden soon? I will get out the wooden soon because I'm very kind, Adam Partridge. See, community settings. I just got back from the pub. Very drunk. Ha ha ha. Hope you had a good stream. Yes, I did. Thank you, Ryan G. And I hope you had a good time at the pub, mate. But anyway, make sure you put Mr. Joshy J Raid, and I'll be back with more content on here tomorrow. And don't forget, Glazers out, Ineos out, and brown envelopes in the bin as well. Bye-bye. And one more time, yeah, fucking wouldn't sing for you, journalists. Bash. Mr. Joshy J Raid, make sure you are subscribing to Don C.